Today we are going to go over goals we can crush by 2022. And so what that means is by the end of this year, we are in the last 6 weeks of the year. And so by the end of this year, you're going to have crushed some goals, okay? Instead of just what a lot of us tend to do, which is kind of just glide through the holidays with the, with the excuse of, the kids are out of school for a week and it gets so weird here, you know, it's like things are a little bit topsy-turvy. Instead, what we're going to do, you guys, is we're going to take control of what we do day to day, and we're going to crush some goals by 2022. And what that's going to do for us, because that's only 6 weeks. So what that's going to do for us is it's going to prove to us that we can do it again. If you've done something once, you can do it again and again and again and again. Okay, so this next 6 weeks is going to be a microcosm of the rest of your life. You ready to do this? We're gonna do this? All right. Okay, first things first, you guys. Second, words, whatever. You guys can win stuff. Heads up, real quick. Make sure that you're subscribed to my YouTube channel, comment on my YouTube videos, and share my YouTube videos into social media, tagging myself or my business page in it. One person every single week is going to get a little tap on the shoulder and they're going to be able to get something for free. So there is that. You get presents, you get gifts, and all of that. So let's go ahead and move into the content today. I do see you guys over in live chat. I'm going to circle back around and say hello and get you guys up on screen at the end of what we're talking about. But I'm just so dang excited. I had a blending issue there. All right. I'm just so dang excited about talking about what we're talking about today, okay? And getting us all moving. What better day than a Monday to make that happen? I woke up this morning and I'm like, yeah, we're going to crush. Let's go ahead and crush. You know what I'm saying? Let me also just tell you, first of all, my sister's husband is an executive pastor at this church. Very cool church in Kansas City or in Olathe. I don't remember which one it is. But what happens is the stuff that's in here, my Nespresso machine showed up. So for those of you that know that I've been waiting for my Nespresso machine, it's here and there it is. Oops, I'm going to spill it on myself. Okay, here we go. So let's crush some goals by 2022. First things first. What do you want to do? Right? And this isn't even just by 2022. Not what do you want to be in the next 6 weeks? I mean, it's going to take you there. But what's your version? What's your vision of yourself? What's your, this time next year, whenever you see me doing the video of let's crush goals before 2023, right? Where do you want to be? Like, let's get very serious about that. And this is a video that I intend for you to watch over and over again so you can go back through this exercise and pause it when needed and that sort of thing. But what do you want to be? Who do you want to be? How do you want to show up in the world? How do you want to give back? And once we've got that dream figured out, what does that require? Okay? So really, we're thinking of, man, if I could be anything, and let me tell you right now, you can. Anybody that tells you that you can't for whatever reason they're not a malicious liar. I don't think people are being malicious because they mean to be malicious. I think they just don't know better, okay? But hey, listen, I barely graduated high school. I went to 1 semester of college. That's how I knew I didn't want to go into college. I was a raging alcoholic for many, many years. I worked in the restaurant industry for 14 years. I came out of that, started at the very bottom of a tech company, started working my way up, and decided to quit my job and start my own thing. I have, on paper, nothing. I don't look like I should be here right now. On paper. And so what I want for you guys to see is I saw something bigger. I believed I could be something so much more, even when on paper it didn't look so. So I don't want for you to be watching this and be like, she's got it easy. Listen, that's how you tick off a successful person, is telling them they got it easy, because they never had it easy. Okay? They worked through things. They chose to see the best in themselves, even when everybody else couldn't, right? Even when people in their family were like, "Oh, that's not going to last." You know, that sort of thing is, they allow it to fuel them, right? They allow the haters to fuel them rather than stomp on them and keep them down. Does that make sense? So I don't want you saying, well, gosh, I don't know how to do any of this stuff. And I don't know how to be successful. And I don't have any skill sets and I don't have any certifications and da-da-da-da-da. And it gets really loud and chaotic in your head. But here, I'm telling you right now, you don't need them. Okay? To be successful, you need to see yourself as successful. All right? I have a program where I will teach you precisely what I have done in my own life. I'm not going to go too far into this, but it's called the Big Think Revolution. The people that have taken it, there are people that have taken it who have already thought they were good and came out of it like, whoa. All right? I've got it on Black Friday sale right now. It's the link is in the description of this video if you want to pop into it. It's like $200 off, which is almost half off, just so you guys know. Jump into that. That's going to help you determine who you really are, the best possible version of yourself. Okay? So first things first, I want you to see in your mind the version of yourself that, man, if you could just show up that way, you would feel so fulfilled. Every day of your life, you would feel like, man, it's so good to be you, right? You love to be able to serve this way. You love to be able to give back. Like, I live in the give back, guys. I think that all of you do too, or else I would drive you crazy. I live for the give back. And so think of what it would feel like to be able to support your community, what it would feel like to be able to help people be better on a daily basis. And then you can even think of like what some people would call superficial things, but it's anchoring. What would be some things that really push you there, right? Like, what house are you living in? And this is a year from now, and a lot can happen in a year. Okay? A lot, take it from me, a lot, I've done it. A lot can happen in a year. It all came from Big Think Revolution, okay? So make sure you understand that, all right? But a lot can happen in a year. So now you think of that version of yourself and then think of what is going to be required for that, okay? And what I mean by that is where are you going to need to be financially a year from now? You're like, aren't we talking about the next 6 weeks? Yeah, we're going to break it down, but we need to know where we're going. We need to know the mountain in the distance, so to speak, in order to know like, okay, and then here's the path to get here. All right. So we're looking at the mountain in the distance right now. So I want you to say it in the comments too. Like, answer these questions in the comments. Make a declaration. You're declaring. You're putting your flag in the ground and you're saying, this is me. I choose this. Some people are scared to do that because then they're like, oh my gosh, what if it doesn't happen? Listen, it's not going to happen if you can't declare it. I can promise you it ain't going to happen then. Okay? I can almost promise you it will if you do declare it. I can't make like actual promises, but if you declare it, you're going to be a heck of a lot closer. So, who do you want to be? What's it going to require to get there? What are the financial things required in order to get there? Some people would be like, well, I want to be a millionaire. Okay, cool. Why? What are you going to do with that when you get it? Where is it going to go? And sometimes it'll go to a house. And when people first become millionaires, it's like they get all the things. And then after a very short while, it just becomes extra money. And then it just starts piling up and you're like, and then that's where you start investing in things like that. But what are you going to do with it? So like whenever you're a millionaire, like I said, people get all the things. So what are you going to get? And don't allow for your brain to make this wrong. It's not wrong of you to want things. There's nothing wrong with that. The thing wrong with it is idolizing it. That's the thing wrong with it. The thing wrong with it is putting it ahead of God and saying, I love this thing more than my relationship with my Creator, right? It's not wrong to want nice things. There's nothing wrong with that. Also, using that money, how are you going to be able to give back to your community? Using that money, how are you going to be able to help people? Because that's really what it's about, right? That feels better than any of the stuff. I'll just tell you, again, I know it feels better to give back than to actually just buy a bunch of stuff. The stuff gets, I mean, right after you pay for the stuff and buy the stuff is already old. Like this, I'm just going to tell you, I know it. You get it and you're like, that was cool. And then like, next. But whenever you're serving and you're helping people out in the world, that is a constant fill up in your tank. That is a constant like, man, that feels so good. Buying stuff, it's like, done. You know, it's like anything else. So who are you going to be? What's it going to take for you to get there? And that's for a year. And now let's look at the first 6 weeks. Because this next 6 weeks is your first 6 weeks of that. All right? So I want you to know where you're going over the course of the next year. Okay? That is your mountain in the distance. Make sure that you note it. If you want to make a vision board, make a vision board. There's a lot of data that supports vision boards. If you just want to write a story. There's a lot of data to just prove living in that space brings it to you. So, and it's not, I mean, some people call it manifesting, and you can call it whatever you want to call it. Essentially, it's you're working with your subconscious. Okay. So, I mean, whatever magical thing you want to call it is what you want to call it. You're working with your subconscious, and working with your subconscious, in my opinion, is working with your God. Okay. We were given these things by our creator and we do not use them. We instead let them use us. Anyway, okay. Now, first 6 weeks, let's talk about an action plan. So in order for you to be this person, in order for you to have this financial capacity, what do you need to do? So say you just want like 200 grand, right? We'll just keep the bar low. All right. Say you want 200 grand within the next year. What is it going to take to get to 200 grand? Do you already have things that you're selling? Do you already, is there a way for you to produce income from home? A lot of times the 200 grand, you're not going to be able to get that from your 9-to-5 job. A lot of times, sometimes you can, but a lot of times you can't, right? And if that's your goal, you probably don't have it already. Right? So what are you going to have to create that supplements what you already have or negates it altogether? What are you going to have to do? Do you already have something that produces income? Does the thing that produces income for you have high profit margins? Okay. Hi, I'm Martha Krejci, and I love high profit margins. I cannot stand low profit margins. They drive me crazy and I don't know why people do it. I'm just going to be honest. Like retail drives me nuts. Nuts. Okay. Do I have a swag shop? Yeah. Do I hang my hat on it? No. It's just so people can get shirts and mugs and stuff like that. It's not because it's a huge income stream of mine. It's just so people can get some swag. That's all that is, right? I don't run everything on that. High profit margins, online learning, courses, coaching, consulting, that sort of thing. Even affiliate marketing can be some pretty high profit margins. Well, the margin is 100% on affiliate marketing, right? What you bring in is 100%. Of course, you pay taxes on it, but what you bring in is 100%. That ain't bad for a product that you're not creating. That makes sense. I may have something coming down the line for that, by the way. So, do you already have something that creates money for you? And how does that scale up to 200 grand if we're just using 200 grand as an arbitrary number? How does that scale up to 200? How many things do you need to sell in order to hit 200 grand? And then whenever you look at that number, and then you divide it by 12, and then look at it and say, yeah, I think I can actually do that, right? Divide it by 12, so you have your monthly number of people you need to hit, and then divide it by 4. And now you know weekly how many people you need to enroll into your stuff or whatever. Then divide that by 7. And you know daily, this allows you to stay on track, guys, without going so far that you're massively on track. You know daily how many people you need to be enrolled into your things to be able to hit this annual goal. Okay? Once you see that daily number, that's real. That's what you're working for every day. Because a lot of people, they'll just kind of throw spaghetti at the wall and they'll be like, I hope this works. I hope this works. They're not finitely thinking, this is how many people I need to affect today. This is how many people I need to connect with to a point that they understand I'm their answer for this, and they can trust me to be able to help them. And it becomes a different game, guys. It's no longer this abstract, oh my gosh, I don't know, maybe I'll make money thing. It's, do I have my 5 people today? Do I have my 2 people? Do I have my 1 person today? And it allows you to be so focused. And when you're focused like that, you guys, you will make it happen. Okay, so what I want today, all we're focused on are goals. I'm not going to do tactics today. Today we're focused on goals. Let's get realistic with our goals. And hey, listen, if your daily number is a size that makes you feel a little vomitous, I call it the puke zone. If it makes you feel a little bit like, oh, well, it's a lot. I like that. I can work with you on that. If you're not an HBR, jump in HBR. Let me just say this real quick. Here's how you do that, all right, is jump into HBR. First of all, jump in before the price goes up because it's going up pretty soon. But here's how you jump into HBR. Livin the Dream with Martha, Facebook business page. Message me the words, let's do this, rainbows and unicorns, whatever you want. And then we will crush, okay? It right now is about like 20% of what it's going to be, less than. It's like 15% of what it's going to be very soon. So it's very inexpensive. Get it for yourself for Christmas, okay? Get your Christmas present early and get moving on this thing, because train's pulling out of the station. We're empowering 1 million families by 2026. And the question is, are you one of them? Get rid of that. Okay. That is today. I want to know your goals. Tomorrow we're going to be talking more about them. I need to pop out of here, so I'm just going to say, Tara Hills wants every debt paid off, financial freedom to choose our work schedule out of design. There it is. Nice. Andrea, so clear. Love it. I have a new music teacher coaching, vocal coaching and courses around a few different specialties, but need to finish my signature program for music leaderships. Gold. Yep. She's in HBR, you guys. If you're like, how is this girl doing it? HBR. Stop playing around. I love you guys. Set your goals. I want to hear them tomorrow. Bye-bye.